Hello everyone, welcome to another shave video. I just want to introduce myself because I haven't done in any of my videos. My name is Shourav, but I'm also known as the Indian Leather God. In today's shave I'll be using Stirling Blue. Stirling is a favorite soap base of mine, but it is known as a budget soap, but which a characterization which I don't agree with. I mean, it is a budget soap, but the performance isn't what you would expect from a budget soap. Anyway, so I'm gonna show you my lathering process. I bought this soap back in 2016. Yes, during December 2016, during a visit to Pasteur's pharmacy over in New York City. So I have a moderately wet brush, and I just clean the top of my soap, basically introduce some water. So what I'm doing is that I'm loading soap so that it becomes close to something a little bit pasty or gooey, and then it is almost there. Brush is a 26mm Razorock Please Soft. So whenever when I'm loading, whenever it becomes a little bit pasty, I just introduce a little bit more water, so that I don't load paste. I instead load something close to a lather itself. More water. A little bit more water. That should be good enough. Christmas has always been a favorite holiday of mine, because I grew up in a country where Christmas isn't celebrated a lot, but we used to get a holiday every year, and there would be some decorations here and there, especially in the schools. I went to a Catholic high school, so I also enjoyed my time over there. And after moving to US, I lived in New Jersey for 6.5 years, and New York City is the best place to be during the Christmas time. This year I'm in California, but man, I miss that. I miss the lightings and everything. So I saw someone mention that a relatively new person, that they don't understand when do I add water. I'll try to explain a little bit here today. So what I have now is almost a paste. It's a bit hard to say, but when I say paste, it means that it has no tendency of dripping down on my neck. So I'll take some water, drop them on my brush, and introduce that water into my lather, not just the surface or top of my lather. I'll work it in. Still no change. So more water. Also, when I add more and more water, the leather in my face starts to reflect more and more light, which is called sheen, I think, or shine. I don't know. I don't understand the difference between those two words, but that's fine. One difference is now my leather right now and what it was when I just started. It is more. It is easier to move my leather with a shaving brush. Previously, it would stuck with my brush. Little bit more water. It's almost there. I can clean this part of my neck without leaving any residue, so it's almost there. Now my leather is so hydrated that with a swipe of my finger I can almost clean it. It leaves a very slick layer underneath, but it doesn't leave any white residue or pasty kind of thing. So imagine this, like if you have a like a dense paste on your face, if you try to wipe it off, it will leave lots of things behind, but I don't want that. I want a very slick layer that's easily removable by the blade, but has a very slick feeling. That's how I know that it's very well hydrated. So I added a little bit more water because I can. So I could probably add a little bit more, but this should be okay. So now on the issue of the razor, today is a Carbon CX with Wizamet blade on its 7th or 8th use. I don't know, I don't remember. The reason I don't agree with the budget characterization of Stirling is because I recently bought a Samsung Galaxy Tab to replace my old iPad. It's the budget version, the $200 to $250 one, and it's a budget version for two reasons. First is that it costs less, but also because its performance is not as good as the good ones. That would be true for statement, but only half true. That would be true for Stirling, but that would be half true. Because it is true that Stirling soap is really cheap, like 5.8 ounces. It says $12.50 on this label. That's probably the cheapest thing you can find. But what's not true is it's not anything. I cannot understand. I cannot understand any drawback, or I can't feel any drawback in terms of performance when using a Stirling soap. It is extremely sleek with incredible amount of residual slickness. There are scents for pretty much everyone. They make so many scents. Maybe not like great in-house scents from, say, CL, APR, Brush and Man, no lather, but I have some of their scents and I love them. I'll talk about the residual slickness part during my second pass more. I had about just a bit more than a day's growth. When it comes to primary slickness, that is when I'm shaving with the lather on my face, I would be lying if I say that I can tell the difference between Stirling lather and, let's say, Declaration Grooming Mill Stick, which would be one of my most favorite soap bases of all time. That I can tell the difference between them, because I simply cannot. So this is where I comment on my residual slickness. So I try to stretch my skin. And also I try to do some buffing without lather on. And that's where I know that Stirling's soap's residual slickness is not only good, it's very good, it is excellent. It is almost as good as the Elite soaps. I'm not saying it is as good as the Elite soaps, but it's like 95% as good as the Elite soaps. The soaps are 90%. When hydrated properly, Stirling soap doesn't have the most voluminous lather. It's more like a relatively less thick layer of lather on your face, which some people can perceive as less protective, which is, in my humble opinion, garbage opinion. Protection is a garbage term in shaving. So I think that's one of the reasons people think that Stirling is not an excellent soap base. Another thing is that, as you probably saw, it took me a little bit of effort to lather Stirling because it is a relatively hard soap. It takes a bit of an effort to load and quite a bit of water to add to reach its full potential. See, this is what I was talking about. It leaves a very slick but not so thick layer, and that can be perceived as a drawback of the soap base. It's just a feature. So if you are a newbie who somehow stumbled upon my video and you think that you need to buy a new soap to take your shave to the next level, I can assure you that you cannot. Because first of all, as a newbie, your skills has a ceiling. And the Stirling Shave Soap ceiling is higher than your skill ceiling. So what I'm saying is that a newbie can get the best possible shave from Stirling Shave Soap. It's a budget soap because it costs less, not because the performance is anything resembling to a budget soap. It does not have the greatest residual slickness of all, but it has way more than adequate residual slickness when lathered properly. I probably won't do a full pass without lather with this residual slickness, but I have no problem buffing a little bit here and there. Also, I think Stirling's sheep base, where they use mutton tallow, I think that soap base is actually an elite soap base. Elite as in it can go head to head with the best of the best. And when I say best of the best, I mean Westerman, Reserve, Excelsior, Declaration Women Milk Steak, all the things that are super hyped and everything. So anyway, long story short, Stirling is a great soap. You just need a little bit of effort. It's a budget soap because it costs less, but it's not a budget soap because it works like a budget soap. And one more thing is that if you look at any shaving review of Stirling soap, you'll see that people talk about how great Rod and Mandy Stirling are. And they are great people. I've met them in person. They are excellent person to talk to and everything. But I think what people think is that when someone's praising Stirling, they're praising the brand because of the people, because of their story, because of their background, their veterans and whatnot. But what I'm saying is that regardless of all those, Stirling soap is a great soap. They make great products. They make budget products because they're good at what they do. They have the economy of scale on their favor. They make budget products, but those are excellent products regardless of their price. So don't let anyone tell you that a Stirling soap is a beginner soap. It is an excellent soap. I've been doing this for 5 years. I cannot say with an honest face that there is any other soap I can use that will elevate my shave. I know there are better soaps, but those betterment are necessary in my opinion. You can get as good a shave as possible with Stirling Shave Soap. And their balms are great too, a little bit greasy maybe, but I finished one of their balms. Maybe I'll pick one in future again. Their brushes are great. Their Badger brushes are great entry point into wet shaving. They're bringing stainless steel razors, extremely ugly, but I don't doubt that they'll be good, but extremely ugly. They have shave bowls. I use their bath soaps a lot. My wife has used their body butters and she loved those. So yeah, Stirling Shave Soap Company. I'm glad there are companies like that. I just want people not to think that they're a budget company. They make excellent products. They just decide to charge less for them. Thank you. Merry Christmas.